his ass so much money. But Paul Finebaum looks like Mr. Over Redenbacher, the popcorn dude. And he brought up this thing that I hate, but I get to commentate on it because I hate it. So technically, this is like a hate o'clock. List Twitter, list radio is when you don't have anything that you to talk about. And so you make these lists, and there's a person who actually, I will give him the GOAT status on this, and he's young. Guy named at Big Game Boomer is the GOAT at goating people into get like, I remember when I saw him when he first started like a year ago, he had like 3,000 followers. He's like up to like probably like 40,000 right now. All he does is create lists every day. And the lists make absolutely no sense. And he knows I'm going to piss off 2 or 3 fan bases, and I'm going to make another fan base so happy that they're going to list this as this is the authority when nobody knows who the fuck he is. Like literally, nobody could go and say Big Game Boomer played here. But our friend Bruce Philman, annual college football head coach rankings list is out. What do you make of the top 25? And my guy, Mark Rogers did this too, and we were getting on him. I'm going to go ahead and make Florida State fans really mad. Miguel Blanco is 21 right now. But let's just go back to the beginning. Now, I'll say the top 3 you really have no argument with because they all currently have national championships. Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, Dabo Swinney. Let me rephrase that. They have national championships during a time where we've during streaming service era, during a time where TiVo was around, because there are some guys who also have national championships that I was playing college when they won the national championship. Jim Harbaugh's number 4. James Franklin is number 5. Ryan Day is 6. Lincoln Riley is 7. Brian Kelly is 8. Kyle Whittingham is 9. Lance Leopold is 10. I know a lot of you people were like, who the fuck is Lance Leotard?
That's a fairy tale name.
He is the coach of the Kansas Jayhawks, who had a good season last year, but until reality set in. And he may be a good coach, but he is not a top 10 coach. Over guys like Luke Fickell, who is now the coach of Wisconsin, who has done it at Ohio State and Cincinnati. Luke Fickell just played in a college football playoff not too long ago. Got demolished, but he played. Dave Clawson from Wake Forest. Chris Kleiman from Kansas State. The fruity Chip Kelly from UCLA. Matt Rule, number 15. Kalen Dober, Washington's coach. Jim Bob Fisher, 17. Mark Stoops, 18. Hugh Freeze, 19. Sonny Dykes, who just played in the college football playoff, 20th. Miguel Blanco, 21. Josh Heupel, 22, who was kicking ass in the SEC till he lost his quarterback. Racist Kirk Ferentz, number 23 at Iowa. Brett Belemic, 24. And Troy Calhoun of Air Force, 25. Like, the list notably leaves off some really good names. But it also, like, how is Luke Fickell not in the top 10? How is Sonny Dykes not in the top 10? These guys took programs to the top 4 in the nation. I think Mike Norvell is a top 15 coach. We don't know what Matt Rule is going to do at Nebraska. We don't know if he's a top 15 coach right now. Chip Kelly has done absolutely nothing at UCLA. Chris Kleiman, if you want to make the argument for Dave Clawson, Chris Kleiman, Lance Leopold, for doing more with less, then that's a different argument. That makes you a top 20 coach. But at no point will you ever list Kansas State, or Wake Forest as potential conference champions or potential playoff teams. A top 15 coach, a top 10 coach should be a coach that you actually believe will win. You know Kansas isn't going to win the Big 12. All you're hoping for is success, but just Mark Stoops, Jimbo Fisher, I think that they've coached themselves out of the top 20. Jimbo Fisher hasn't had a winning record in God knows when. He has never won the SEC since he left Florida State. Jimbo Fisher is not a top 25 coach since he has left Florida State. If you want to say he's a top 10 recruiter, great. Actually, that makes him not even a top 50 coach because of the amount of talent that he's had at Texas A&M that he's squandered. It did absolutely nothing with. And continues to get paid. Mark Stoops will never be fired from Kentucky, but he is the proof of what I always say in America, mid will sell. Maybe he'll be better if he left to go somewhere else. But right now, as of right now, Kentucky, I have no fear. Hugh Freeze at 19, though, I think that's a travesty. He should be ranked higher. He was doing good when he was at Ole Miss before he got fired, just because he had a propensity for strippers. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, too. Hugh Freeze is a damn good coach in that. Hugh Freeze at Auburn should give some guys the shakes. It's just a shame. Like, just the lists are just there to rile people up.